We laughed when we heard the enemy brought a human. We stopped laughing when she dropped our entire team before breaking a sweat. Look, I am not saying we were arrogant, but yeah, okay, we were absolutely arrogant. And why would we not be? The Talric's tactical squad, that was us, had won 17 consecutive simulation matches. 17. Do you understand what that means in the Galactic Combat Academy? That means scholarships. That means military contracts. That means, most importantly, that we gotta walk around campus like we owned the place, because, well, we kinda did. My name is Ven, by the way. Ven Krolix. Communications Specialist Strategic Coordinator, and if I am being honest, the one with enough brain cells to know when things are about to go catastrophically wrong. Spoiler alert, things were about to go catastrophically wrong. But at that moment, standing in the staging area of Arena 7, watching my squad do their pre-match stretches and equipment checks, I had no idea that our perfect record was about to get absolutely demolished by a single solitary human who had not even bothered to show up on time. Another easy sweep, announced Torvin, our squad leader. Torvin was a Krolix, which meant he stood about 7 feet tall, had 4 arms, and possessed enough natural armor plating that most species would need industrial equipment to even scratch him. He was checking his plasma rifle, a weapon that could punch through reinforced steel, and he looked bored. Bored. That should have been my first warning sign. "Did you see the roster?" asked Elmara, our infiltration expert. She was a whisper, one of those species that could bend light around themselves and move without making a sound. Perfect for sneaking up on opponents and ruining their entire day. She was currently visible, which meant she was feeling confident, very confident. "We are up against a mixed squad. 2 Ventari, 1 Kloxen, and get this, a human." Torvin laughed. Actually laughed. The sound echoed off the metallic walls of the staging area like thunder. A human. In tactical combat? What are they going to do, talk us to death? Throw their primitive chemical propellant weapons at us? The rest of the squad joined in the laughter. Raxic, our demolitions expert, was practically wheezing. Jenna, yes, a human name, but she was actually a Corvali, which confused everyone, was grinning with all 3 rows of teeth showing. I even cracked a smile because, come on, humans, everyone knew about humans. They were the new species, the ones who had just figured out faster than light travel about 40 cycles ago. They were enthusiastic, sure, friendly, absolutely, decent at mathematics and engineering, granted. But combat, physical competition, please. Humans came from a garden world. Earth, they called it. Moderate gravity, reasonable temperature ranges, plenty of water, breathable atmosphere without filters. It was basically a vacation planet that happened to have sentient life on it. The galaxy had seen their file. Nothing special. Middle of the pack in strength, middle of the pack in speed, middle of the pack in literally everything except stubbornness and that weird thing they did where they formed emotional attachments to machines and animals. "Attention, squads," the arena's artificial intelligence announced, its voice crisp and emotionless. "Match begins in 5 minutes. Proceed to starting positions. Objective: capture the beacon at the center of the arena. All non-lethal weapons authorized. Medical team standing by." We moved as a unit, smooth and practiced, into the arena. Arena 7 was a beauty. 3 levels, multiple entry points, obstacles ranging from energy barriers to physical walls, automated defense turrets that would target anyone, and a glowing beacon right in the dead center on an elevated platform. The rules were simple. Get the beacon, get it back to your extraction point, do not die. Well, do not actually die. The weapons were set to stun, and the medical nanites would handle anything serious. Our opponents were already in position on the far side. I could see them through my helmet's enhanced vision. 2 Ventari, bird-like species, excellent aerial mobility. 1 Kloxen, big and slow but tough. And supposedly, 1 human, though I could not spot them yet, probably hiding. Which, smart move, honestly. "Easy pickings," Torvin said over our squad channel. "Raxic, take out their cover. Elmara, flank right. Jenna, suppress their position. Ven, coordinate and watch for surprises." The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. The match started, and we moved like the well-oiled combat machine we were. It was about to be another easy victory. Or so we thought. The match had been running for approximately 90 seconds when the arena's announcement system crackled to life again. Late entry authorized, human competitor Riley Martinez entering the arena. Adjusting team parameters. I blinked. Late entry. Who shows up late to a tactical combat simulation? This was the Galactic Combat Academy, not some recreational sports club. You show up on time, you prepare, you execute. That was the standard. Apparently humans had not received that particular memo. Did they just say the human is late? Elmara's voice came through the squad channel, and I could hear the amusement in it. She was currently invisible, moving through the arena's second level, getting ready to flank the Ventari who were trying to establish an aerial advantage. Confirmed, I replied, scanning the entrance points. Human competitor just got clearance to enter mid-match. Torvin's laugh boomed through the channel. Oh, this is perfect. Their human overslept or got lost or whatever it is. Humans do. Their squad is already down to 3 effectives. And now they are getting their 4th member when we have already secured 2 advantageous positions. He was not wrong. Raxic had already deployed suppression charges that forced the Cloxin to take cover behind a reinforced barrier. Jenna was laying down covering fire that kept the Ventari from getting a clear flight path to the beacon. We were, as usual, dominating. Then I saw her. The human, Riley Martinez, entered through the south entrance, and I have to tell you, my first thought was, this cannot be their tactical specialist. She looked, and I mean this in the most factual way possible, completely unprepared. No heavy armor, just a light tactical vest, no helmet, which, what? Her hair, dark brown and pulled back in something humans called a ponytail, was not even secured properly by military standards. She carried a standard-issue stun rifle, one of the basic models they give to first-year students, and she had what appeared to be a water bottle attached to her belt. A water bottle. In a combat simulation. Oh, this is sad, Jenna commented. She looks like she just came from a workout session. Riley Martinez did not rush. That was the thing that struck me as odd. When you enter a combat scenario late, you rush. You sprint to catch up with your squad, you try to make up for lost time, you communicate frantically to get a status update. She did none of those things. She walked. Well, jogged, actually, but it was a casual jog, the kind you would do in a park, not in an arena where stun bolts were actively flying around. She tapped her communication device. I could not hear what she said to her squad, but I saw one of the Ventari suddenly change flight patterns, moving to provide her with cover. So, at least she was coordinating. Barely. Then you seeing this? Torvin asked. Confirmed. Human has entered the arena. She appears to be, taking her time. Should we even bother targeting her? She looks like she is going to eliminate herself just by tripping over something. That got another round of laughter from the squad. I will admit, I smiled too. Because look, she genuinely did not look threatening. Humans were smaller than most combat species. This one could not have been more than 5.5 feet tall, maybe 65 kilograms, no natural armor, no enhanced speed, no combat adaptations whatsoever. She looked like she would lose a fight against a moderately aggressive houseplant. Riley Martinez reached a stack of cargo containers and vaulted over them. Not climbed, vaulted. One smooth motion, hand on top, body over, landing in a crouch on the other side. It was efficient, I would give her that. But nothing impressive by galactic standards. Raxic, Jenna, push forward, Torvin ordered. Let us finish this. I want to grab lunch before the next match. We advanced. The Ventari fell back. The Cloxin tried to hold position but had to retreat when Raxic dropped a concussive charge near its location. Their squad was collapsing exactly as predicted. And Riley Martinez. She kept jogging forward, steady and unhurried, like she had all the time in the world. Like she knew something we did not. That should have been my second warning sign. Riley Martinez reached the arena's obstacle course section, and that was when things started getting weird. Not dangerous weird, not yet, just odd. The obstacle course was standard design. Walls to climb, gaps to jump, barriers to navigate. Most species took these obstacles seriously because they were designed to slow you down, force you to think, make you choose between speed and safety. Riley Martinez did not choose. She just went. There was a wall maybe 10 feet high, smooth surface, designed so you had to find the handholds or use equipment. She hit it at a full run, and I swear I thought she was going to slam face first into it. Instead, she jumped, got her hands on the top edge, and pulled herself up and over in one continuous motion. No hesitation, no equipment, just raw muscle and momentum. Did she just? Elmara's voice trailed off. That wall is rated for species with climbing adaptations, I said, checking my data. Humans do not have climbing adaptations. Maybe she is augmented? Raxic suggested. Negative. Academy regulations. All competitors scanned at entry. No augmentations detected. Riley dropped down the other side of the wall, landed, and kept running. Not jogging anymore. Running, and she was fast. Not Ventari fast, not even Whisper fast, but faster than a human had any right to be. I checked her file quickly. Earth gravity 9.8 meters per second squared. Standard. Atmospheric pressure 101 kilopascals. Standard. Nothing in her planet's specifications suggested its inhabitants should be able to move like that. She approached a gap in the arena floor, maybe 12 feet across, with a 20-foot drop to the safety net below. Standard procedure was to use the mounted grapple line or go around. Riley Martinez did neither. She accelerated, hit the edge, and jumped. For a moment she was airborne, body stretched out, arms forward, and I found myself doing the math automatically. Trajectory looked wrong, distance looked wrong. She was not going to make it. She was going to fall short, hit the net, waste 30 seconds climbing back up. She caught the opposite edge with her hands, absorbed the impact with her arms, swung her legs up, and rolled onto the platform. Okay, that was actually impressive, Jenna admitted. That was reckless, Torvin corrected. She got lucky. Luck runs out. But I was looking at the numbers, running the calculations, and something was not adding up. That jump, the force required, the impact absorption, humans were not supposed to be capable of that, not without injury. Not without at minimum some serious discomfort. Riley Martinez had landed hard enough that I heard the impact through the arena's audio sensors, and she had just kept going. She finally raised her rifle. One of the Ventari had circled back, trying to get an angle on Raxic's position. Riley snapped her weapon up and fired. 3 shots, rapid succession, and the Ventari tumbled from the air, stunned, caught by the arena's safety fields before hitting the ground. Lucky shots, Torvin said. But he sounded less certain now. Riley was moving again, and this time she was heading toward our position, specifically toward the elevated walkway where Jenna had set up her suppression point. This was a problem, because that walkway was defended, and Jenna was a Corvalli, which meant close combat was very much in her favor with 3 rows of teeth and reflexes fast enough to snatch insects from the air. Jenna, you have incoming, I warned. I see her. Let her come. This will be quick. Riley hit the stairs to the walkway at a sprint. Not a tactical approach, not a cautious advance, a full-speed sprint. Jenna stepped out from cover, rifle raised, confident. She fired center mass, clean shot. Should have dropped the human instantly. Riley twisted. I do not know how else to describe it. Her body just twisted like she bent in a direction that should not have been possible, and the stun bolt missed by inches. She closed the distance between herself and Jenna in maybe 2 seconds. Which, no, that was too fast. That was definitely too fast. Jenna tried to bring her rifle around for a point-blank shot. Riley grabbed the barrel, yanked it aside, and then did something that made my entire squad go silent on the channel. She did not try to grapple Jenna. She did not try to disarm her through technique or leverage. Riley Martinez, all 5.5 feet and 65 kilograms of her, simply ripped the rifle out of Jenna's hands with pure raw strength. The rifle, which was designed to be held by species significantly stronger than humans, just ripped it away. Jenna, to her credit, immediately went for close combat, which was her strength. She lunged forward, jaws open, claws extended. Riley sidestepped far too quickly and swept Jenna's legs out from under her with a movement so fast I had to replay it on my helmet's recorder to even see it. Jenna hit the deck, hard, and Riley was already moving past her, continuing forward. The entire engagement had lasted maybe 5 seconds. Jenna, status, Torvin barked. I am stunned. What just? What is she? She is a human from a garden world, Raxic said, but he sounded uncertain now. Right? That is what the file said? I pulled up Earth's classification again. Garden World. Class 7. Moderate everything. I stared at the designation, and for the first time a cold feeling settled in my stomach. Torvin, I said slowly, I think we might have a problem. We still outnumber them 3-2, and we have better positions. That is not what I mean. I think Earth might not be classified correctly. Riley Martinez vaulted over a railing, dropped 15 feet to the lower level, landed in a roll and came up firing. Another member of our advantage. Raxic, Elmara converge on the human, Torvin ordered. Take her down. Now. They moved to intercept. Riley saw them coming, and she smiled. Oh no. Raxic moved in from the left. Elmara from the right. Standard pincer maneuver, executed perfectly. Raxic was heavy weapons, built like a tank, with enough firepower to level a small building. Elmara was stealth and precision, invisible until the moment she struck. Between the two of them, they had eliminated entire squads before. One human should not have been a problem. Should not have been. Raxic fired first, a spread pattern designed to cover the maximum area, give the target nowhere to dodge. Riley did not try to dodge sideways. She went forward, dropping into a slide, legs extended, body low, passing under the stun bolts like she had done this 1,000 times before. The concrete floor of the arena should have shredded her legs, even through the tactical pants. It did not. She slid at least 10 feet, came out of it at a run and closed the distance with Raxic before he could reset his aim. Raxic, she is on you, I shouted. But he already knew. He swung his rifle like a club using his superior mass and strength. The rifle weighed maybe 30 pounds. Raxic could bench press a small vehicle. The swing should have launched Riley across the arena. She ducked under it, inside his reach, and punched him in the chest. I know how that sounds. Believe me, I know. A human punching a Raxic, a species with natural armor plating and bone density 3 times standard. It should have hurt her more than him. It should have been like punching a wall. Raxic staggered backward. What? He gasped over the channel. How did that actually hurt? Riley did not give him time to recover. She kicked his knee, not the front where the armor was thickest, but the side, the joint, and Raxic went down. She grabbed his rifle as he fell, twisted it out of his grip, and used it to sweep his other leg. Raxic, 250 pounds of muscle and armor, hit the ground like a felled tree. She stunned him with his own weapon. Elmara now! Torvin screamed. Elmara had been moving into position the entire time. Invisible, silent, perfect. She was 3 feet behind Riley, blade extended, ready to deliver a stunning strike to the base of the human's neck. Elmara was the best infiltrator in our year. She had never, not once, been detected before making contact. Riley spun around and looked directly at her. Elmara froze. How? I am. There is no way she can see me. She cannot, I said, checking sensor data. Light refraction is active. You are invisible. Then how is she looking right at me? Riley tilted her head, like she was listening to something. Then she smiled again, and I realized with growing horror that she was not looking at Elmara. She was listening to her, hearing her breathe, hearing her move, hearing something that our equipment could not pick up. Elmara, move! I shouted. Too late. Riley fired from the hip, 3 quick shots, tracking Elmara's movement, even though she could not possibly see her. The first shot missed, the second caught Elmara's shoulder, the third hit center mass. Elmara's light refraction failed, and she collapsed, visible and stunned. This is not possible, Jenna said. She had recovered from her earlier encounter and was watching from a distance, wisely choosing not to re-engage. Humans do not have enhanced hearing. They do not have enhanced anything. I was scrolling frantically through Earth's data file, looking for something, anything, that explained this, and then I found it. A note, buried in the environmental section, flagged as minor. Earth classification updated, pending review. Possible reclassification from Class 7 Garden World to Class 12 Deathworld based on recent geological and biological surveys. Deathworld. Oh no. Oh no no. Torvin, I said, and my voice came out higher than I intended. Torvin, we need to extract. Now. We still have numerical advantage. It is one human. One human from a death world. Earth is not a garden world. It is, The file says it has apex predators that can crush bones with their jaws, weather systems that can level cities, and gravity wells that, Torvin, their gravity is 1.3 times galactic standard. That is barely. For their entire evolutionary history, they evolved in high gravity with predators hunting them and disasters killing them, and they survived all of it. She is not tired because humans have endurance evolution. She is not injured because humans have pain tolerance evolution. She can hear Elmara because humans are persistence predators who track prey by sound. Riley was moving toward the beacon now, and our remaining squad members were backing away from her. Not retreating tactically. Backing away, like prey animals. She grabbed a piece of debris, a chunk of concrete that had broken off from one of Raxix's explosive charges, maybe 20 pounds of jagged rock. She looked at one of the automated defense turrets that was tracking her, calculated an angle, and threw the rock. Threw it. The rock hit the turret dead center, traveling fast enough to crack the reinforced casing. The turret sparked and went offline. Did she just destroy a turret with a rock? Raxix asked weakly. He had recovered enough to watch from his position on the ground. Humans have throwing evolution, I said numbly, reading from the file. Shoulder joints adapted for high-velocity projectile launching, used to hunt by throwing rocks and spears, can achieve velocities exceeding. Oh, ancestors help us. The Ventari, who had been stunned earlier, had recovered. Big mistake. He tried to fly past Riley to reach his squad's extraction point. Riley tracked his movement, jumped, caught his leg mid-flight, and used her body weight to drag him down. They hit the ground together, but Riley rolled with the impact and came up fine. The Ventari did not. She was now between us and the beacon. One human. One impossibly fast, impossibly strong, impossibly durable human who was not even breathing hard. New plan, Torvin said, and I could hear the fear in his voice now. Everyone, fall back to extraction. Forget the beacon. We forfeit. We cannot forfeit, Jenna protested. Our record. Look at her, Torvin snapped. We all looked. Riley Martinez stood in the center of the arena, rifle ready, water bottle still attached to her belt because apparently she had not even needed it, surrounded by the stunned bodies of competitors who had underestimated her. She waved at us. Actually waved, like this was fun for her. Fall back, Torvin repeated. Now. We fell back, the legendary Talric's tactical squad, 17 consecutive victories, retreated from a single human who had shown up late to the match. And Riley Martinez. She just walked over to the beacon, picked it up and started jogging back to her extraction point. Still not tired, still not injured, still smiling. We should have just let her have it. We should have accepted defeat, learned our lesson, and walked away with our dignity mostly intact. But Torvin, bless his overconfident heart, decided that retreating was not an option. The Talric's tactical squad did not lose. We especially did not lose to a single human who had shown up late and was now casually jogging toward her extraction point like she was on a morning run through a park. All units, regroup at checkpoint Theta, Torvin ordered. We set up a defensive position. She has to come through the main corridor to reach extraction. We turn it into a kill box. Overwhelming firepower, no fancy tactics, just pure suppression. She cannot dodge what she cannot see coming. It was actually a solid plan. The main corridor was a choke point, narrow, with limited cover. We had 4 squad members still combat effective. Riley was alone, her teammates still recovering or too far away to support. We set up overlapping fields of fire, positioned ourselves behind reinforced barriers, and waited. Riley turned the corner into the corridor, saw us and did not even slow down. Fire! 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 Torvin screamed. We opened up with everything. Stun bolts filled the corridor like a light show, dozens of shots per second, creating a wall of energy that nothing should have been able to pass through. The air itself crackled with electricity. The noise was deafening. Riley ran straight into it. She zagged left, right, dropped into another slide, popped back up, twisted her body at angles that should have been anatomically impossible. Stun bolts passed so close to her that I could see her hair moving from the displacement. One bolt hit her shoulder. A glancing blow, enough to make her stumble. Just stumble. Not fall, not even stop. She shook it off like an insect bite and kept coming. She took a direct hit and she is still moving. Jenna shouted. Center mass. Aim for center mass. Raxic called out. Riley jumped. Actually jumped. Grabbed onto an overhead pipe that was meant for arena maintenance, and swung herself forward. She released at the apex of the swing, flew through the air over our firing line and landed behind our defensive position. Behind us. We spun around, trying to reacquire targets, but she was already moving. She swept Tarvin's legs, grabbed Jenna's rifle and snapped it to the side, kicked Raxic in the chest hard enough to send him stumbling backward into a wall. 3 of us, disabled in as many seconds. I was the last one standing. Communications specialist, strategic coordinator, not a frontline fighter. I raised my rifle, hands shaking, and pointed it at her. Riley looked at me, beacon still tucked under one arm like a piece of luggage, and she had the audacity to look sympathetic. Just stun me, I said weakly. Please, just get it over with. She nodded, aimed, fired. The world went dark. When the arena's medical nanites revived me 30 seconds later, Riley Martinez was gone. I sat up, head spinning, and checked the match timer. 7 minutes and 42 seconds. The match had lasted 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Our average match time was usually around 15 to 20 minutes. She had cut that in half, by herself, while arriving late. I pulled up the arena's recording system and watched the final moments. Riley had made it to her extraction point, deposited the beacon, and won the match for her team. The timestamp showed she had been in the arena for a total of 6 minutes and 18 seconds. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to destroy the best tactical squad in our year. The Ventari had recovered by then and were helping the Cloxon to the medical station. They looked exhausted but happy. Riley was sitting on a bench, finally drinking from that water bottle, chatting casually with one of the Ventari like they had just finished a light exercise session. Our squad regrouped slowly, helping each other up, checking for injuries. We were fine, physically. Stunned pride aside. The safety systems had worked perfectly. But mentally, we were shattered. Did that just happen? Elmara asked. That just happened, I confirmed. But how? She is just one human. I pulled up Earth's file one more time and read the updated classification. Class 12 Deathworld. Gravity 1.3 times standard. Atmospheric oxygen content higher than safe levels. Weather systems including hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, seismic activity. Predator species including creatures that weighed multiple tons. Persistence predator evolution. Endurance runner evolution. Omnivorous diet allowing survival in any environment. And in small text at the bottom, note, humans consider their planet pleasant and comfortable. They vacation there. She is not just one human, I said quietly. She is one human from a planet that actively tried to kill her species for millions of years. And they won. Torvin was staring at Riley, watching her laugh at something the Ventari had said. 17 consecutive victories, he muttered. 18 would have been nice, Raxic added. Riley noticed us watching. She raised her water bottle in a friendly salute, still smiling. We did not salute back. We just stood there, 4 members of the formerly undefeated Talrix tactical squad, learning a very important lesson about the galaxy. Never ever underestimate a species that calls a Deathworld home. The debriefing room was silent. Painfully, awkwardly silent. Our instructor, a veteran Korthan named Havrix, who had seen actual combat in 3 different conflicts, stood at the front of the room with his arms crossed. He had watched the entire match. He had seen everything, and the look on his face was somewhere between disappointed and amused, which was somehow worse than just being disappointed. So, Havrix began, his voice gravelly and tired. The Talrix tactical squad. 17 consecutive victories. Scholarships pending. Military contracts in negotiation. You all had quite the impressive record. Torvin stared at the floor. Elmara was examining her hands like they held the secrets of the universe. Jenna was unnaturally still. Raxic looked like he was reconsidering every life choice that had led him to this moment. I just sat there, replaying the match in my head, trying to figure out where exactly everything had gone wrong. Havrix continued. Past tense. Because today, you got absolutely dismantled by a single human who showed up 6 minutes late, had no heavy armor, carried basic equipment, and treated your defensive positions like they were mild suggestions rather than tactical advantages. Sir, Torvin started, But Havrix held up one hand. I am not finished. Do you know what your problem was? Your problem was arrogance mixed with ignorance, which is always a fatal combination. You looked at a classification, garden world, and you assumed that meant weak. You saw a human small by galactic standards, and you assumed that meant harmless. You did not do your research. You did not ask questions. You just assumed victory. He pulled up a holographic display showing Earth rotating slowly in the center of the room. Continents, oceans, weather patterns swirling across the surface. It looked peaceful from space. It looked nice. Class 12 Deathworld, Havrix said, recently reclassified. Do you know what that means? It means Earth has environmental hazards that would kill most galactic species within days. It means humans evolved alongside predators that could tear them apart, diseases that could wipe out entire populations, and natural disasters that could level their cities, and they survived. Not just survived, they thrived. They reached the top of their food chain through intelligence, endurance, and sheer stubborn refusal to quit. He zoomed in on Earth's surface, showing cities, forests, mountains, oceans. Humans run marathons for fun. They climb mountains because they are there. They swim in waters with predators. They explore environments that would require most species to wear protective suits, and they consider all of this normal, recreation, even. Omara raised her hand tentatively. Sir, why were they not classified correctly from the beginning? Because humans are friendly, Havrix said simply. They are cooperative, social, eager to make friends. When they joined the galactic community, they were so busy being helpful and polite that everyone forgot to ask the important questions, like what did your planet do to you to make you this resilient? What did you have to survive to develop these capabilities? He closed the holographic display and looked at each of us in turn. Riley Martinez is not special among humans. She is fit. Yes. Trained, certainly. But she is not enhanced, not augmented, not exceptional by human standards. She is just a human doing what humans do, and she took you apart like you were training dummies. The silence stretched out again. Finally, Raxic spoke up. What do we do now, sir? Havrix almost smiled. Now you learn. You study Deathworld species. You understand that soft does not mean weak, and small does not mean harmless. You remember that the galaxy is full of creatures that survived impossible odds to reach the stars. And most importantly, you never, ever underestimate a human again. He dismissed us, and we filed out of the debriefing room quietly. In the hallway, we passed Riley Martinez. She was talking with some other students, laughing about something, looking completely normal. She saw us and waved. Good match, she called out cheerfully. You guys almost had us there for a second. We had not almost had them, not even close, but I appreciated the lie. I waved back and my squad kept walking. We had a lot to learn. Starting with respect, because somewhere out there in the galaxy, on a beautiful blue planet that actively tried to murder its inhabitants for millions of years, an entire species of Riley Martinez's was getting ready to join the stars. And the galaxy, whether it knew it or not, was completely unprepared for what was coming. 17 consecutive victories. It had been a good run. But now we knew better. Now we knew about humans,